all of ours, was to adopt Dayton, Rowan, and Brianna. And I've also known or highly suspected that there's only one way to do that.
I wish to do this and it didn't have to be this way.
Robyn's actions surrounding the divorce are honestly wild when you really break it down. Watching the rewatch, it hits different. She fully admits to being the one who initiated the divorce, and even starts off with, "I wish I didn't have to do this," before catching herself. That's a real eye-opener, right? She's not even pretending it wasn't her decision. But here's the part that really gets me. She's sitting there with her new girlfriend at the lawyer's office while she's divorcing her wife to be with her. Like, could you be any more obvious? Could they rub Mary's face in it any harder? The whole situation felt like a punch to the gut for Mary. I was rewatching an earlier episode, and I wish I could remember which one exactly, but Robyn laid out what her real motivations were. She said something about the kids constantly annoying each other, and Mary stepping in to try to keep the peace. She even asked the other moms to back her up. Then, Robyn goes off about how her kids weren't being accepted and couldn't fit in, and this is where it gets interesting. She said, and I'm paraphrasing here, "I only have so much time to integrate my kids into this family. They'll be old enough soon, especially Dayton, to choose if they want to live with me or their dad. If I don't make them part of this family, they will choose their dad." Boom. There it is. That's the real reason, in her own words. At that point, Robyn had been hinting at how her ex was abusive. And as someone who grew up in a chaotic, abusive environment, I can't even begin to wrap my head around her decision. I'd choose a family I don't get along with over an abusive father any day. If she was so worried about her kids choosing that toxic environment, then it points to one of two things. The Brown family was so much worse to her kids than they let on, which is hard to believe. Robyn was lying about the situation with her ex. We all know it was the latter, and if that's the case, then Mary's divorce was totally unnecessary. This whole thing could have been avoided if Robyn just let things play out naturally. Also, was this her blonde phase? Was she trying to copy Christine's vibe? It's hard to keep up with all the changes. In an episode, not too long before all of this, Robyn mentioned how upset she was that Dayton wasn't getting along with all of his new siblings. She said she was concerned that when he turned 12 or 13, he could legally choose to live with his biological dad. That's when she decided to initiate all this chaos. She needed complete control over her kids. It's eerily similar to what we see in documentaries like Keep Sweet and Pray, erasing the other parent when a new spouse enters the picture. The whole thing feels like a major disservice to Dayton, especially when you consider she even made him change his first name. He looked completely shocked by the adoption process, and now he's changed his name back to David. Good for him. Look, death is a part of life, and yes, young, unexpected deaths do happen. But they don't happen nearly as often as we think. I get the fear though, I'm young, with no health conditions that would signal my death anytime soon, and my biggest fear is not being there to watch my kids grow up. But Robyn? Was she really so afraid of her ex that she thought he'd swoop in and take her kids away forever, leaving the Browns out of the picture entirely? Or that he would somehow leave the kids with the Brown family and only take visitation for himself? The guy wasn't some overbearing presence. He was so underbearing, in fact, that he signed his rights away. If she really wanted a smooth co-parenting situation, he would have been the perfect ex to work with. She didn't need to do any of this. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. So it's the day before Aspen's wedding, and the wives are trying on the hats that Mitch's mom so graciously made for them. Now, Robyn, the beacon of positivity, declares that if she doesn't like the hat, she simply won't wear it. Because obviously it's her day, and who cares if a sweet woman put her time into making something special? Mary, of course, chimes in with her usual negative Nancy routine, saying, "It's not what I was envisioning. But honestly, I don't even know what I was envisioning. Classic Mary. Here's the thing. Mitch's mom made these hats. Took the time to listen to what each wife liked and then actually crafted something for them. For Aspen's wedding. The one day that maybe, just maybe, they could put aside their feelings about fashion and wear a hat for a couple of hours. Sure, hats might not be everyone's thing, and hey, I'm not a fan either. They look ridiculous on me, but if someone I care about put their time and effort into making me something, I'd bite my tongue for 4 hours and wear the damn thing. It's not about you. It's about showing up for someone you love, and yeah, maybe you look a little silly, but guess what? No one's there to admire your fashion sense. They are there for the wedding. Honestly, the way they treated Mitch's mom was pretty rude. I really hope all that drama was staged for the cameras, because if that's how they acted in real life, yikes. I mean, they probably told her beforehand, "Oh, don't worry, we'll act like we hate it. It's for the show." But still, the producers clearly know how to stir the pot. They must have heard the wives complaining in private and thought, hey, let's make this a whole thing on camera. Look, I'm not a hat person. Never have been. I'm that person who avoids hats at all costs. But if it's for someone special, especially if they've made it just for me, I'm all in. I'd wear it without a second thought. Why? Because it's not about me. It's about supporting the person I care about. But no, these women seem to think their personal comfort is more important than, I don't know, showing gratitude for a thoughtful gesture. These little dramas, probably just fluff to fill the gaps between the real, staged moments. You know, things the producers thought would get viewers talking. I mean, yeah, the wives can be tedious at times, but being downright rude to someone who took the time to make you a hat, that's just hard to believe, even for a reality show. They probably told Mitch's mom, "We're not really upset, but we've got to make it look good on camera." As for Mary, honestly, I don't think it was a personal vendetta against Mitch's mom. Mary's life is a constant parade of feeling completely powerless. Her marriage with Kody is falling apart, her sister wives aren't exactly the supportive BFS she's dreamed of, and, well, Leon is off at college doing their own thing. So yeah, people who feel disempowered tend to lash out in weird, illogical ways, even when it doesn't make sense. Still, that doesn't excuse her behavior, but it kind of explains it. You know what absolutely drives me crazy when I rewatch Sister Wives? Kody's whole generous act of gifting his wives trips. He acts like it's this massive sacrifice, like he's the benevolent king giving them a royal reward. The wives and Kody himself all lament how hard it is when he's gone. And sure, I get it, being away from your partner isn't easy. But none of them, not Kody nor the wives, ever seem to stop and think how unbelievably lucky Kody is to get to go on all these trips and vacations. The wives might get a date here and there, maybe an annual trip, which, fine, is nice by monogamous standards, but not exactly groundbreaking. But Kody? He's got those dates and trips multiplied by 4. And yet, when he talks about it, you'd think he's doing everyone a favor, as if he's not living the high life. He's eating fancy food, visiting exotic locations, and enjoying all the perks, and somehow still acting like he's the one making the sacrifice. It's wild. And let's not forget, those trips and dates are only possible because the wives are holding down the fort at home, paying for the kids' expenses and covering the day-to-day chaos. So Kody can dip into the family pot for his personal fun. But sure, he's the one suffering, right? I cannot wrap my head around the fact that he gets all these experiences that take him further away from the home and the kids, yet he still complains about how difficult it is. I mean, can you imagine being one of his wives and listening to him whine about balancing trips and activities? It's borderline comical. It's honestly astounding that none of them call him out on his pity party. The guy is using family funds to live it up, eating out X4, vacationing X4, playing Santa for the kids. And meanwhile, the kids themselves barely see any of this indulgence. Kody cruises around in his little sports car like he's some childless bachelor, while everyone else is stuck in beat-up cars that barely stay together. He's a walking contradiction, and honestly, he's ridiculous. If Kody were a better husband, if he actually stepped up and fulfilled the role he supposedly chose, he could maybe make a case for his complaints. But he doesn't. He doesn't have solid relationships with any of his wives, and he certainly doesn't provide for his family like he claims he should. I'm not saying men are the only ones responsible for providing, but these are his own stated beliefs. He's the one who wanted multiple wives, and instead of managing it well, he's got a mess on his hands. And I'm sure other polygamists are watching this, cringing. If my family was still in hiding, and I saw Kody making all of us look worse than we already do, I'd be livid. Let's not even get into his relationship with the kids. He's clearly got zero emotional intelligence there, and that's heartbreaking. The kids are talking about food insecurity, while he's cruising around in sports cars and taking luxury vacations. It's maddening. And the worst part? He's never once acknowledged the wives at home who are literally doing everything to keep the ship afloat. He's able to live his lavish lifestyle only because 3 women are acting like single moms, holding everything together. Watching Robyn over the years is like watching a one-woman band try to play all the parts of the original wives. You've got Mary's traditional love, because who wouldn't want to step into a legal marriage with Kody after the other wives have already been sidelined? Then there's Christine's fun, lighthearted vibe that Robyn is clearly trying to steal, probably thinking, if I act cute enough, they'll forget I'm a total buzzkill. Oh, and don't forget Janelle's business-minded, logical side. Robyn practically elbowed her out of the way to become the CFO of my sister wife's closet. Because why wouldn't you want to throw yourself into a business venture that, spoiler alert, was doomed to fail from the start? Then there's the cherry on top, the constant playing of the victim to Kody. Seriously, every time she does it, it's like watching an Academy Award-winning performance. Too bad Kody keeps making the original wives play nice with her. But sure, Janelle had her moments, especially when she called MSWC a hobby business early on, only to get shot down every time. But you know, Robyn's got her game plan, steal from everyone, and then pretend like she's the one doing all the work. Speaking of stealing, remember when Robyn just had to take over Mary's holiday turkey tradition? One day, out of nowhere, Robyn calls Mary up and tells her, I'm taking over turkey duty now, deal with it. Mary and Kody were practically strangers by that point, and the holidays were really her only shot at some family time. But hey, who cares about that? Robyn was too busy adding Turkey Chef to her list of conquests. Classic move, take a little more from Mary, then step back and act like you're just being helpful. Oh, and let's not forget that Mary never got to do pajamas anymore. Instead, Robyn gave everyone blankets. How heartwarming. Then there was the Christmas Eve debacle, right? Mary's just trying to figure out if she should invite anyone over, and Robyn cuts her off like it's a hostage negotiation, declaring that without a conversation, it'd be too scary to even discuss. But hey, no biggie. They just decided Mary could show up at their house for Christmas Eve. Mary, being the lone wolf in the family, probably felt like a Christmas orphan. The nerve. Wasn't Mary the family photographer back in the day? Robyn swooped in on that role too, because why not add more to her ever-growing list of things she can claim as her own? Just tack that on with owner of an ugly jewelry line, because when you think of style, you obviously think of Robyn's hideous creations that look more like body parts than anything remotely wearable. But hey, who wouldn't want a necklace that's supposed to be a heart, but ends up looking like, well, that? No wonder no one bought anything. The only thing that was more poorly executed than her jewelry was her idea to take over Kody's gym dream. The moment she came up with the jewelry business, Kody completely forgot about his gym. Who needs a fitness business when you can sell body part-inspired jewelry, right? In the end, Robyn's whole MO was simple. She tried to replace everything Kody loved about his other wives. Except, of course, Christine's playful, fun-loving personality, which Kody couldn't quite seem to shake. You know why? Because Robyn's a snooze. She can't touch that kind of spark, and it's probably why Kody was so torn when Christine left. But Robyn, she'll just keep stealing pieces of what worked before and hoping no one notices. In Season 6, Episode 14 of Sister Wives, Mystic Mona tells Mary that she'll inspire her family to do something great, and as much as we want to roll our eyes, she actually might have been onto something. Kody's blatant disregard for Christine, watching him shut down any chance for intimacy, left her no illusions about her future. Seeing Mary's life essentially shelved was Christine's wake-up call. It set the stage for her, and eventually Janelle, to break free. Who would have guessed? Mary, the unlikely role model for escaping a toxic marriage. Also, remember that bit about Mary needing to focus on the kids' medical issues? Yeah, that didn't exactly pan out with Isabel. Classic. Kody is a financial disaster. A masterclass in bad decisions, so I'm new to this series. Yeah, I know, a little late to the party. Of course, I've seen some spoilers about where this train wreck ends up. But seriously, Kody is a financial nightmare. I'm watching Season 14, Episode 2, and I can't believe what I'm seeing. They can't even unload their house in the cul-de-sac in Las Vegas, and yet Kody pitched this whole move as a financial strategy. What a joke! This guy, who presents himself as the logical, level-headed leader of the family, the one who's always supposedly least driven by emotion, ends up being an absolute bonehead. He bullied every wife into jumping on board with this financial disaster, dismissed all their valid concerns, and somehow led them straight into a quagmire. I'm honestly shocked. I'm just waiting for someone, maybe Janelle, to finally give him a piece of their mind about how he royally screwed them over. But of course, that probably won't happen. They'll just let him keep making the same mistakes. Remember that meeting in Robyn's giant house in Flagstaff? The one where Janelle softly mentioned that it might take spring before they're out from under their house. I was praying that one of the wives would look at Kody and just say, "Well, someone really messed this up, huh? Got any more whiteboard presentations to dig us out of this mess?" But nope, nothing. Total silence. It's infuriating. I can't stand how none of them ever directly call him out for being such an idiot. It's like watching a slow-motion car crash. And then, during that big meeting where they brought out the whiteboards to list all the pros and cons, Janelle, quiet as a mouse, brings up a potential downside. Kody whips around and glares at her like she just committed a cardinal sin, saying, "You're going to start with a negative." Apparently, the whole family was programmed to be nothing but positive and supportive toward him. So any dissent was just considered subordination. It's like some twisted form of Stockholm Syndrome. I swear, it's like Robyn has the manipulation thing down to a fine art. She knows exactly how to work Kody, playing her cards, so she gets what she wants while still looking all sweet and innocent to him. Meanwhile, the other wives are just struggling to get their voices heard, while Robyn has mastered the game. And let's not forget, they moved to Arizona primarily because Kody and Robyn had already made their choice. The other wives? They were just following a script, totally manipulated into going along with it. It was already a done deal between those two. Honestly, Kody and Robyn deserve each other. Both financially clueless, both making terrible decisions, and yet they just keep digging the hole deeper. Robyn came into this family with nothing but debt, and Mary and Janelle poured most, if not all, of their money into Robyn's fancy mansion on the hill. Meanwhile, they're still paying off Coyote Pass, but instead of making smart financial choices, they're splurging on art and jewelry. They have absolutely no common sense when it comes to money. It's maddening. Did the wives even know why they were moving to Flagstaff? We're about 88% sure it was for Dayton's school, but did they catch on to that before the big move? Kody's genius pitch was all about financial stability, Yeah, sure, because nothing screams stability like buying smaller, more expensive homes in Flagstaff compared to their Vegas properties. Oh wait, that reason's out the window. So did the wives just blindly go along with it because Kody said so? Probably. None of them had the backbone or knowledge at that point to realize they could actually survive without him. It was only after living in Flagstaff on their own that the other wives started to have the epiphany. Holy crap, we can do this without him. As for the Dayton situation, I'm pretty sure they had an inkling. I mean, they'd have to be blind not to notice. Thanks again, Kody, for making another brilliant financial decision. If you just waited 6 to 12 months, you could have made a fortune, even with Christine's dream home. But no, you had to rush in without doing any actual research on the real estate or schools. Classic Kody move, announcing we're moving everybody without any actual planning. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.